All right. Well, I did this once on Facebook today, and I figured I'm still doing this. I'm gonna come on Instagram too. It's been forever since I've been on social media. I've just been so busy. So, hello everyone, and welcome back to Joanne's Bath and Body. Today I am wrapping up ugly soap samplers into these cute little packages. All right. So I shared a bunch of news on Facebook. I'm going to share a bunch of news here as well. I might have forgotten some stuff on Facebook that I'll share here, and I might have mentioned some stuff on Facebook I might forget here, so check out Facebook too. Anyway, so these are my ugly soap samplers. They are end pieces. Ugly soaps are end pieces. So when I make a batch of soap, I do try to make small batches, so I make either 2 or 5 pounds. Most of these come from a 2-pound batch, but there's a couple exceptions. And when I take them out of the mold, I cut off the ends, and I'll show you some of that in a little bit. And the ends are really good pieces. They're really good soap, but I don't know if you can see all this. Each of these are between 10 and 12 ounces of soap. Yeah, and there's only so much that TJ and I can use. So I wrap them all up and I offer them for sale on the website. They are excellent if you're looking to try some of the soaps, if you travel, if you camp, all kinds of reasons to use small pieces rather than a full bar. Hi, Samantha. Anyway, so what I do is I take all these end pieces and I stack them up all nice, just like this, and then put them in a little package, and you can try, like I said, 10 to 12 ounces. So in this particular one, 1, 2, 3, 4, you get to try 8 different soaps for less than the cost of one. So they're very convenient. They make great gifts. They're awesome if you travel. So I thought while I was just standing here tying, I would do a Facebook Live. So I did a Facebook Live. I had some technical difficulties. Took me 3 tries, but finally got it going. Got to visit with some folks, and I thought, well, I'm still doing it, so I'll come over here to Instagram and I'll do here too. I've had some questions posed to me over the last few months, and I thought that I would address those. They're very easy questions, but I can understand why they were asked. And the first one is, are you still in business? Are you still selling soaps? And the answer is yes. Joanne'sBathAndBody.com is still live, still selling soaps, and I still have inventory. So go ahead if you're interested and head on over and see what's available. Next question, are my prices going to change in the new year? And the answer is, I don't know. So in the last few months with the pandemic and everything happening around the world, sometimes some supplies that I need to make my quality products haven't been as readily available, and what has been available sometimes is outrageously expensive. For example, earlier this year I was having issues getting cocoa butter, and I do have priorities when it comes to what I look for in my ingredients, and one of them, to make a quality ingredient, in my mind, it needs to be as organic as possible and sustainably sourced. So I don't want an unethical source for some of my products. I'm not going to get into all of that and what that entails, but let's just say that I care about where my products or where my ingredients come from and how it's obtained. So my prices, while some of my ingredients, the prices have changed, my prices for my soaps and my lotions and candles and everything, scrubs, balms, it's going to stay the same for now. All right. Somebody asked, when do I update my website? Sorry, having a hard time talking and doing it at the same time. I update my website up to this point. I've been updating it just as I could. For example, I have 2 different ways of selling my products, in person and online. And if I sell something in person, that doesn't necessarily, well, that doesn't get changed online. So I've just been going in when I had an extra minute or 2 and making the changes that way. One of the new things that we're going to do in 2021 is we're going to start doing more regular updates to the website on a more regular basis, or a more consistently regular basis. I still do need to go in and make the changes as they happen as far as inventory and quantity and all that goes, but now we're going to be making the announcements that there have been a change to the website. So that's something new in 2021. It's just a small thing, but I think it'll make a big difference. And speaking of 2021, today is the last day of 2020. I'm very happy about that. I know it feels like there's a reset button about to happen, or a refresh button, and that next year is going to be better. I just feel that in my bones. Next year is going to be better. How it's going to be better, I don't know. And these, whatever changes are going to happen, they're not going to happen overnight. But I do think things will get better. So one of the changes, or another one of the changes that we're planning on making next year, which is tomorrow, is that we're going to be doing major soap releases quarterly. So 4 times a year there'll be a new soap release. And we're going to start this in February. So on February 1st, in our first release of 2021, we'll have some remakes, and I'll show you those in just a minute. And we're going to have some brand new things, and I'll show you that in just a minute too. Brand new soaps, new fragrances. We'll have limited edition releases, limited edition products available. And I do have a sneak peek of what's coming for February that has been prepared so far. And I'll show you that in just a moment. Oh, I need to cut more ribbon. Here, how about I put this back in the dish? I'll show you that now. Okay, so day before yesterday, I got busy. I got busy making soap. I got busy making remaking product. So let me give you a peek of what's to come. You know, and I was saying earlier today, it felt like day before yesterday, I made more soap in that one day than I made all last year. That's not true, but that's just how it felt. I made these 5 batches of soap. 4 of them are remakes of customer favorites, or my favorite. So the first one is Baby Powder, and these are all ugly soaps that need to cure, and then eventually they'll get put into a package like this and be made available on the website. All right, the first remake that we did was Baby Powder. Baby Powder is something that we keep in stock all year round. It does only come in blue at the moment. Nobody's ever asked me to make it in any other color, so Baby Powder comes in blue. Smells fantastic. It's the best baby powder fragrance I've been able to find ever. And yeah, we keep this in year round. Something new that I introduced in 2020 that is going to be available year round, I'm pretty sure, because it's one of my absolute favorite fragrances, is Ylang Ylang. I found the most heavenly Ylang Ylang fragrance through a company called Paris Fragrances USA. And oh my goodness, I just absolutely love it. I already make this in a solid lotion bar. I'm out right now, but that'll be coming up in the next few days. And I've made it in whipped shea butter, which smells fantastic. Now it's in the soap, and I love this. And I think I'm going to keep this year round just so that I have some available when I want it. Another one that we started keeping year round in 2019 was Sweet Honey. Sweet Honey is awesome. It's another one of those soft fragrances. It smells more like real honey than some real honey I've smelled. I love it. So, Sweet Honey, that'll be available for our 1st of February release. And something I have a hard time keeping in stock is Blackberry Blossom. Blackberry Blossom comes in soap, like this. It also comes in whipped shea butter, which I'm out, and solid lotion, which I'm out. It comes in a room spray, which I'm out, and it comes in a candle, which is out. Like, I have a hard time keeping Blackberry Blossom in stock in any of my products. So this will be available on the February 1st release. Oh, love it, love it, love it. Now, the biggest request that I got last year was to start offering more men's or unisex fragrances. Normally I do a lot of testing, or not a lot, I do testing before I release a new fragrance. There are several things that I look for, and I'll tell you more about that in just a minute. Hey, Jerica, miss you, girl. But this fragrance came so highly recommended by other soap makers, other bath and body makers, that I didn't do any testing for this one. So I guess you could call this first batch my test, but it was reported to behave well in the soap formulations. It was reported to be popular with men, popular with women. So what it is a duplication of the Gucci men's cologne called Made to Measure. And this is small sample. I don't know if you can see that. My light's probably too bright. From Brambleberry, and I tried it out, and holy cow, do I ever like this. So I have a feeling if this is as popular during this release as I think it's going to be, I have a feeling this is going to be a new year-round product. So we didn't want to use the name Made to Measure to name it after the fragrance, because it's a Gucci brand, it's a Gucci name, and I don't want to get in trouble with anybody for stealing the name or copyright infringement or whatever the term is for that. So we're calling this Measure Twice. There's an old adage that says measure twice, cut once when it comes to woodworking. Oh, wow, this is so good. This is so good. TJ loves it. He said that he was going to steal a bar as soon as it was cured. So here are the end pieces, the ugly pieces, and the cut soap. This came from the same batch, like the same loaf of soap. These are the end pieces, and it looks so cool, and it smells amazing, amazing. I have a feeling as soon as you smell this, it's going to be one of your favorites too. So anyway, that's coming up in the February release. And then all these cute little owls, these are my samples. So whenever you place an order at joannesbathandbody.com, I always include a sample of something, whether it's a lip balm or a soap. And when I have extra batter left during the soap making process, I put it in this little mold, and I make a little owl mold out of it, and these are perfect for sample sizes. So that's what we've got here with the owls. And these are the soaps that I made day before yesterday, and I cut them yesterday. So let me go put these off to the side. And, hang on. I lost my coffee. Okay, so something else I'm doing today besides wrapping up and packaging ugly soaps is I'm about to make 14 1-pound batches of soap, and this is the testing that I was telling you about. So because I've been asked to carry more masculine fragrances, I'm not really all that familiar with masculine fragrances, to be honest. TJ wears Obsession. I've not been able to find that in a fragrance oil. And that's what he's worn for decades. And so, so I asked a bunch of other makers and what their favorites were. And I took advantage of a sale and I got 12 sample bottles of a bunch of different fragrances. So I'll tell you what they are. This one's called Scotch Whiskey. This one is Warm Flannel. This one is Galactic Skies. I don't know what that's supposed to smell like, but anyway. This one is Kentish Rain. This is supposed to smell like a little like Irish Spring. So we'll see what happens there. This one is Kentucky Bourbon. My nephew Joey saw this on my Facebook Live a little bit ago and he was quite excited about that. So, we have Backwoods Hike. I'm imagining this smells like walking through the bush in June. Leather. Raspberry Ale. This is supposed to smell like a raspberry stout. This is a dupe of the men's cologne Fierce. Let's see, Rustic Woods and Rum. Oh, Ginger and Patchouli. Okay, I got this one because I wanted to know how good it smelled. So that's for me. And Sea Moss is apparently a very popular summer type fragrance. So I also have these two here. This one's Cinnamon and Balsam. And then this is another one for me. This one's Pink Sugar. Pink Sugar is a perfect example of why I do testing. Pink Sugar smells like cotton candy. With a little bit of musk and a little bit of floral and a little bit of vanilla. And it's the vanilla that kills it. Not kills the fragrance, but kills the soap. When I smell this, the colors that come to mind are like bright pink and bright purple and some yellow in there, and it just smells fresh and happy and soft and clean, and I love the fragrance of Pink Sugar. I bought it from another supplier early last year, and I used it in my whipped shea butter. It's fantastic. I used it in solid lotion. Wonderful. I used it in a candle. Amazing. I used it in soap. Fail. Now the soap didn't fail. The soap was perfectly fine. It's good soap. And I did use whites and pinks and yellows and purples and just cotton candy colors, right? I think I even had a streak of blue in there. Anyway, but the Pink Sugar fragrance oil has vanillin in it. Vanillin is a chemical component in the perfume industry that makes things smell foody, makes things smell like vanilla, and not actually use vanilla. So anything that has that buttercream fragrance or a pie fragrance or I don't know, anything that would have vanilla in it usually uses this component called vanillin. The downside of vanillin is that it reacts with the pH level in soap and turns a very dark brown, like the color of black coffee brown, almost black. I can't even describe to you how disappointed I was when after a couple days of making soap using pink sugar, everything turned brown. So I use it in my bathroom, to wash my hands, and it's no big deal for that. It is still perfect soap, just ugly color, and it's not, the color doesn't reflect the flavor or the fragrance. So Be Scented has this pink sugar, which reportedly should not turn dark brown in soap when it reacts with the pH. And I sure hope that's the case. I really do, because it smells fan-freaking-tastic. It's amazing. Have I said that yet? Anyway, so I'm really excited about this, and that's the reason why I do testing. If I had made an entire batch of pink sugar soap with the other formula or other fragrance formula that I had, I would have lost a whole batch of soap. It wasn't sellable. It was that dark and it was that ugly. It smelled amazing, works wonderfully, looked really bad. So I test small 1 pound batches just to make sure that everything's going to work with my soap formula and do what I think it's supposed to. Now, there are some fragrances that I use knowing it has a high vanillin content, like black amber and lavender. Oh, I love that. And I, on purpose, only put the fragrance in the black part because it has 14% vanillin in the fragrance. It's going to turn really, really dark anyways. And then I leave the other part of the black amber and lavender unscented, and therefore the color doesn't affect those, the vanillin. So testing is really important. Another thing testing is important for is not only for discoloration, but just to make sure that it is going to produce a consistently good soap, like what I make using all the others. Every single soap that I've made has gone through testing. So that'll be my afternoon today. Well, it's already, 1:30, almost 2 o'clock. I'm gonna finish tying up these ugly soaps here, and then I'll get started on making my 14 1-pound batches of soap. I'll cut it tomorrow. I should get 3 decent sized bars out of each batch. I keep one for testing. I give others, my testers, there are people who, they just do testing for me. They test my soaps, they test the bath bombs, they test whatever it is that I'm making. And so I will give out, a bar to others and see how they like it. How does it work for them? Some of my testers have water softeners. I do not. So my soap actually does react differently in a home that has a water softener than it does here at home where I have hard water. With the water softener, the bubbles are like 3 times more than they are when I use it here at home. So anyway, that'll be my afternoon today, doing testing for all 14 of those. Okay, I gotta keep tying. Let's see. Nope, I gotta cut ribbon. That's what I gotta do. I have a list of talking points over here to see if to make sure that I don't forget things that I really wanted to say. So I did mention that we're going to be switching our release schedule to 4 times a year. So we'll be releasing on February 1st, May 1st, August 1st, and November 1st. In February, that'll cover Valentine's Day and spring. In May, we're going to be getting we'll cover Mother's Day and early summer. So that's when beachy things and fruity things will start to be released. In August, that'll be end of summer, early fall fragrances. And then in November, that will be just in time for the holidays, late autumn, early winter. Each release, we're going to have 4 limited edition soaps that will only be available during that release. And whatever we release in May will no longer be available, even if I have 1 or 2 bars left, for the August release. So there will only be 6 to 7 bars of each soap available for each release. And there may also be other products available with that fragrance, like, I might make a soap and a whipped shea butter, or a soap and a solid lotion, or a soap and a sugar scrub. So, but it will be those 4 limited edition fragrances, and then some complementary products to go with them. What else will be available once a quarter is a seasonal lip balm. So right now on joannesbathandbody.com, you'll find that we have currently in stock, we have lemongrass lip balm, we have buttercream, that's just what everybody's favorite right now, wild berry, and let's see, lemongrass, buttercream, wild berry. I thought I had a 4th. Maybe I don't. Maybe there's just the 3. And they're available now. So in the spring, I may offer like a lemonade, and in the summer, watermelon, and in the fall, maybe an apple cinnamon, things like that. So there'll be 1 limited edition flavor of lip balm each release as well. So we have that. Videos. All right. So it's been a good 6 months, maybe even 7 months, since I've released a video on YouTube. Mostly because with the pandemic, with my work schedule and my health issues, excuse me, and no, I did not get COVID, not yet anyways, knock on wood. I didn't make very much soap in 2020. I didn't sell very much soap in 2020. I kind of put the business off to the side, and I concentrated on my job. I have an outside the house job. I do deliveries for Nothing Bundt Cakes in Stockton here in California, and it's a fantastic job. I loved it, and I loved it before the pandemic, and then when the shelter in place hit, people still want their cake. And when they found out we did deliveries, I've been crazy with deliveries pretty much all year long. This is one of the very few breaks that I've gotten between Christmas and New Year's right now. So, that's been crazy. I forget why I brought that up. So I'm just going to move on to the next. Oh, my video schedule. Right. I want to get back into making videos and posting on YouTube for you to see how these products are made. I want to do that on a more regular basis. And so I've made a schedule, a calendar, for each quarter, because remember, we're going to be releasing new soaps and remakes quarterly. Let's see if I put this side by side. There we go. I'm going to put it side by side and put it over there. There we go. So I do want to start releasing more video on a more consistent basis. About 1.5 years ago, our niece Cassie and her husband Stephen came over, and Stephen taught me how to do some video editing. I used it a little bit before the pandemic, and I've kind of gotten out of the habit of doing that. So I've been practicing using the video editing software. Now those 4 or 5 batches of soap that I showed you, the ugly pieces, I did record those for YouTube. I recorded the making and the cutting. So one of my next things to do is to download the videos and start editing and get back into a more consistent video release schedule on YouTube. So watch for that. Hi, Vicky. All right. And let's see. So that's about the videos. I've been working on packaging. That is something that I really did want to improve upon, is the packaging of my soaps. Now, mind you, the Ugly Soap samplers are exactly the same as they've always have been. But the soap itself, I really wanted something to go on the soap that would be more protection from the environment, from dust, from people, than just the cigar band type labeling that I was doing. I like the look of the cigar bands, but I just needed more protection for my soaps. I like the idea of shrink wrap, but what I didn't like was the fact that I'm wrapping my soaps in plastic, even though I'm trying to be more conscious of my impact on the environment, personally and in the business. I would like to someday get to the point where I can say that we are zero waste. We're close, and we are definitely on the journey in that direction, and we will continue to go that direction. But we're not 100% there yet. So I found shrink wrap called Biolafin. And man, I have a hard time saying that. Biolafin. So Biolafin is biodegradable. It's supposed to break down into compostable material after about 18 months. So I best not have soap hanging around more than 18 months. And another thing that concerned me about shrink wrap in general is I wanted to be able to smell my soap. I love the smell of my soap, otherwise I wouldn't make the fragrances that I do or use the oils that I do, be it a fragrance oil or an essential oil. I love the smell of it, that's why I make it. So by using shrink wrap, I was afraid that you would no longer be able to smell the soap. When I'm at a holiday show or a craft show or in a store, I guarantee you, and I kid you not, 99.99% of people who have, let's say the soap catches their eye on the way by. So yes, color and appearance are important. This is, I'm not kidding, this is exactly how it happens. They pick it up and it goes straight to the nose. So while I love the smell of my soaps, it's important to customers that they be able to smell the soap. Plastic wrap doesn't offer that. Shrink wrap doesn't usually offer that. However, Biolafin has tiny microscopic perforations. And I took my weakest smelling soap with a test batch of Biolafin shrink wrap. I shrink wrapped it up and I let it sit for about 5 hours. And then I went back and I tried to smell the soap. And lo and behold, I could smell the soap. So the tiny perforations in there work. So those two things that I was most concerned about, well, three things: the environment, being able to smell the soap, and being responsible about what I put out there for product. All those things, all the check boxes were in the right places. So as I remake soap, as I release soap on our releases, the packaging is changing. So I will be using the Biolafin, which means I needed to use different labels. So I found a compostable, biodegradable, adhesive backed sticker to go on the soaps that sticks really well to the shrink wrap. And yeah, so as new soaps get introduced into the product line, new packaging will be available. Let's see. What's new with me? So I mentioned health thing. And like I said, neither TJ nor I contracted or have yet to contract the coronavirus. We've both been very healthy. We've both been extremely careful, especially because I'm out there every day in public, going from home to home, delivering cake. We take precautions. I make hand sanitizer out of 99% isopropyl alcohol that I don't sell. Sorry. I Lysol my car. We took every single precaution. I wear my mask. I hate it, but I wear it to stay as healthy as we possibly can. Now, what you may not know is that way back in 1984, I was diagnosed with diabetes. So I'm in my 50s now, and I've lived with diabetes pretty much my whole life. And as I had babies, things change in my life, stress levels, hormones, whatever, because it's a day that ends in Y, sometimes my diabetes gets out of control. It gets crazy, and it goes nuts. And that happened to me earlier this year. I went back on insulin injections. I now wear a sensor on my arm. It's like an implantable device that takes my glucose readings in my body once every minute. I'm on a bunch of different medications, and I'm getting better. Things are starting to go back in the correct direction. I don't know if you can see it through my shirt. Maybe not. See that lump right there? Anyway, so I'm better. I'm much better than I was at the beginning of the year. In the spring is when things started going drastically wrong. But we're taking care of it. I'm taking my meds, and I'm not walking as often as I should, but that's pretty much the only exercise I think I can tolerate for now. But I have lost a bunch of weight. I lost about 30 pounds. I've gained 10 back. Don't tell. Yeah, so I lost 30, gained 10 back. So I've lost about 20 pounds now. And I feel good. And besides the not sleeping part, because I've always had trouble sleeping, I'm feeling pretty darn good. And things are going in the right direction. So that's the health scare that we had earlier this year. That, and I had an a not normal mammogram in June. Whatever it was that they found in the mammogram and resulting ultrasound is so small that they can't tell me what it is yet. So I am totally not going to worry about any of that, because if it's too small to even, if these 3 spots are too small to even do a needle biopsy, then they are too small for me to be concerned about right now. But I did go back in for a 6-month checkup. They didn't change. They didn't get any bigger. They didn't get any smaller. So that's all good. I wish they would have, just disappeared from sight, but they didn't. But again, they're so small, they can't do a needle biopsy. So that's too small for me to worry about. Let's see. Otherwise, TJ's healthy. Marlo and Quincy are both getting older, turning into grumpy old men dogs. The kids are doing well. They have new careers, new jobs, new home, new community. We didn't get to see them for Christmas, and that pretty much broke my heart, but hopefully things will improve soon and I'll get to see them very soon. So yeah, our Christmas was quiet. It was just me and TJ and the dogs. Santa was good to all of us. And now it's the week between Christmas and New Year's, and I'm off, and I'm doing my thing here. All right, so there's that for an update. We've not done anything musically because of the pandemic, all of the events and the situations where we would have normally gone out to play music. Those have all been canceled, all the way up to, even for my birthday, we go to the California Bluegrass Association Father's Day Festival, and that for 2021 has been canceled. So we'll just have to make other plans. But musically, we're just here in the living room. That's it. Let's see. What else do I have to tell you? I think that's pretty much it. I'm done tying up all my ugly soap sample packages here. These are already listed on the website at joannesbathandbody.com. Speaking of website and social media, I forgot to do this on Facebook. I even prepared and I forgot to do this. So we have joannesbathandbody.com for the website. On Facebook, you can find me at Joanne's Bath and Body Boutique. On Instagram, we are at Joanne's Bath and Body Boutique. On YouTube, Joanne's Bath and Body, and on Amazon, Joanne's Bath and Body. Yep, I'm on Amazon. Not a whole lot of product right now, but it's getting better. So yeah, there's all the social media. If you haven't signed up for the newsletter, just go ahead and reach out to me. I'm going to list out everything that I forgot to talk about and everything that I remembered to talk about on the next upcoming newsletter, which is coming out monthly at this point. All right, and Ugly Soaps are once again available on the website. Keep an eye out for more information for our February release on February the 1st. I'll be sharing more information about that coming up. Keep an eye out on YouTube. I'm starting editing videos today, right as soon as I'm done making those 14 test batches. All right, guys, you all have a good day. Happy New Year. It is New Year's Eve. Happy 2021. Things can only get better from here. And I have a feeling 2021 is going to be a great year, even if it gets off to a slow start. Stay safe tonight. If you're going to drink, don't drive, because your dog will never understand why you never came home. And people will miss you. So take care, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye. Wait a minute, there's an off button here somewhere. I know I'm still here. What about up there? No, that's not what I want. What about there? Yes.